Hear ye, hear ye. This is the most excited I have been for a draft, maybe ever. I am just so excited about this fantasy football draft that we're doing. It's about challenges. It's about, getting outside the box. Weekly winners is the draft we're doing today. It's a whole different format. And really, I feel like Davis and Pete are stepping onto my turf. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about weight loss challenges. And really just draft freedom on this Independence Week. So stay tuned to Swolecast and RotoGrinders.com. Welcome, everybody. Soccer Dave here, David Kitchen, joined by Peter Overzet and Davis Maddock. Tuttle still TBD when he's going to be back. But he is still part of the show. No riffs. No, I don't want to get rumors started.
Yeah, this isn't a ship at nation. This isn't a ship at nations, someone's leaving type feud.
It's going to be really awkward when I have to host the interview on Lulz about Tuttle's departure from the Swolecast.
All right, so Pete, we're doing a weekly winners draft. Do you want to go through and just kind of tell people what the weekly winners series is all about, since you are an underdog investor and spokesman?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, I really appreciate having this platform. We could also share the draft board since we are underway, and Davis and I have already made some selections. But yes, of course, the weekly winners, new contest from Underdog where the theme is every week matters. The entire prize pool is being distributed over the course of 17 weeks. So every single week has the same amount of weight as the others. There's no advancing through a playoff gauntlet or from the regular season. You're basically just trying to beat out the field in this massive tournament to essentially have a top 10 team in each week. That's where all the money is up top. And so it's a completely different puzzle to solve than Best Ball Mania. Because in Best Ball Mania, you're trying to finish first out of 12, first out of 16, first out of 16, first out of 140, 100 or 441. And in this one, you're having to finish first ahead of 200,000 plus teams. So it's been fun to start discussing all of the various strategies. And Kitchen, for this one, naturally for the Swolecast, we have given challenges to each other that must be completed in this draft, because we know on the Swolecast, if you fail to complete the challenge, it's punishable by death.
David's challenge is so stupid, but no one's going to be able to guess it. But I'm going to do it. But I just wanted on the record that David's challenge is dumb.
I gave David his challenge.
No, he's
the
saying
challenge that he gave to me.
Oh, he gave you. Gotcha.
It actually is I don't know. It is going to be really hard to guess, but it is overall a really good challenge.
Yeah, just the guessability. The guessability is so low.
It just depends. If people know the brand that I have, we each gave each other a challenge. So,
Devin, can we get a zoom in, brother?
And you could switch over to the draft
David.
grid.
Yeah. David's gonna have to do the zooming. I David,
shrink my screen.
I gotta start here. I mean, the idea that this is not a thinking man's format, Best Ball Mania is far less of a thinking man's format than this contest. You can't just go into this contest and just say, I hope I draft a winning team. It's not, I don't think that's good strategy.
How many weekly winners drafts have you drafted?
3, I think.
How many have you drafted, Pete?
I've done 3 fast. This is my 4th fast, and then I'm in a bunch of slows.
Okay.
I'm in 43 Pomeranian slows.
I've done 7 weekly winners drafts.
Live? Fast draft?
So, yeah, well, 7 fast drafts, and then 1 I'm still on the clock for a slow draft for.
Okay.
So,
so you're the thought leader of this room.
I'm the thought leader. I'm the experienced one. And this really plays into the whole live a little.
In what sense do you mean that? Just because you feel that you can draft a team and you can look at it and think that it's
there are a million different strategies.
Yeah, there are.
So,
but many of them are likely losing strategies. They just have not been disproven yet.
F me. Someone took Lamar Jackson. So this is basically what I have been doing is,
and this
I've been
should be
trying
behind
to
the paywall. What Kitchen's about to
Yes.
say should be behind the paywall.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the sweet spot for me has been the Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and then draft a million running backs and wide receivers.
You're taking these guys at like the 2-3 turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So taking, especially, and it really works if you have like a top 3 pick, right? Because you got Jefferson and you get Andrews and Lamar Jackson. Really, you're just hoping that there's going to be a few weeks where you're going to get these, where Lamar Jackson's going to be QB1.
You're saying like in a weekly contest, you're hoping to like get like the most points out of 2 guys.
Yeah, I want them to be the top guys, and then I want the running back and wide receiver. I want those combos to give me that 20,000, at least one time. And so the you never know kind of applies to that. And then what I'd like to do is I will stack other AFC North opponents, because they're playing them twice, except for Pittsburgh, who's week 18, I believe, for Baltimore. So that's kind of how I like to roll, because then the AFC North will also play each other. I think they're also with the NFC West, so you can get those guys in as well. So that's just me. Pete, what's been your favorite strategy so far?
Yeah. So I'm really pushing things structurally, and I am leaning into the elite quarterbacks and the elite tight ends. I'm going way more 0 RB and like super anchor RB stuff, where it's just like, I'm not taking if I do take like a Breece Hall or a Pollard, I'm really not taking my second running back until like the 10th or 11th round. So
isn't Breece Hall like extra bad in this format? Or is he, I guess he's actually better. He's extra good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think same for like all those guys, right? Javonte Williams, Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
But I'm of I've been cooling a little bit on like forcing the elite tight end, but I do really like the elite quarterback, single elite quarterback.
Yeah. All right. Oh man, I'm on the clock right now. Boy, I got Ramondre Stevenson, Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Debo, Justin Fields. I'll go with DK.
I have to pull up something and make sure Kitchen has not failed his mission already.
I haven't. It's just probably not what you're expecting. I think it's going to be really tough for people to guess what I'm doing based on your mission.
It's always kind of tough for people to guess what you're doing, because you took Rashee Rice as a wide receiver 2 on an elite tight end team.
A bully tight end team.
Never let them know. Never let them know your next move, David.
That's right.
Well, that was the thing too, with based on like, obviously there's different ways that Kitchen can accomplish the mission I gave him, but based on how he ordered the mission, like the various steps, he could have maybe given it away, but he has disguised it very well with this start.
Yes. People, they do not know.
I'm formulating a guess.
There's just no way you can take a guess.
Well, I mean, it could be wrong, but I'm formulating it. I see the germination of an idea.
In mine, I would say there's no way you can tell what Davis gave me yet based on what I've done. What about for you, Davis? Have you tipped off your prompt or challenge at all?
No. You would not be able to guess yet.
Okay.
But mine will be impossible to guess because of the hinging of it. But after I say it, everyone will be like, oh yeah, had we had this like little bit of knowledge, it would have been extremely obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like kind of the opposite of what I've been doing, but that's okay. That's why we like it. It's also pretty smart from a underdog standpoint, because we used to talk in the good old days of DraftKings and FanDuel, like on a Monday or on a Tuesday, depending on what year it was. Like the money would be released back in the ecosystem. And so I'm guessing that Underdog will release the weekly winners every week, as far as they're not going to hold payment till at the end of the season. And what that allows people to do is just recycle that and get back into, different contests the underdog is holding. So the weekly sweat is good. Also, the Thursday through Monday, it's different. We haven't had this in 4 or 5 years. We haven't had the Monday night.
They still have it. People just don't play it as much. Although you can win more money playing.
Yeah, but this is going to be
Monday.
what people are right, or this is going to be what people are tuning into. Like, I've got a shot at this. That sort of thing.
Here's a question for you guys on this, because I'm excited about the leaderboards. I'm excited about that sweat element. But one thing I was thinking about is, one, with so many teams, like when we head into even Sunday night, right? Like there's going to be a lot of clusters of very similar teams at the top, like dupes, 1v1s, 2v2s off of it. Do you think it's actually going to be hard to scroll through the leaderboard and like figure out which teams actually have a chance? I'm going to
treat it the same way the FBI treats best ball during the regular season. I'm going to completely ignore it. You can't.
No, I think if you've got a shot, like it will be. It's just like the Millie tournament where you're just like scrolling through and seeing like, okay, I've got a shot at 20,000 if this guy does this.
I mean, this contest is larger than the average size of the Millionaire Maker. So I think the people who are building these teams, imagining they're going to have a lot of sweat equity, like your median expectation is 0 sweats if you enter 150 teams. Like, I don't mean to be a downer, but
especially if you draft them like you, Davis, where you're trying to cover the board on every single team.
Exactly. I was talking about it. I was talking about it with Leone earlier, seeing if he would give me some ammo, but he said he'd need to run some sims out first before he said anything declarative.
I mean, that's what Leone's wife asked him to take out the garbage. He goes, well, let me run some sims first. And then I'll let you know.
Let me see.
All right, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, what's our weight loss bet going to be, bud?
Hold on. I'm on the clock. Let's talk about the weight loss bet after I've just made my second pick. I'm pick 9. So on the clock right now, I got some options.
I got to keep checking here. Make sure Dave has not failed his mission.
Yeah. I don't think I have.
You're good so far. We'll see what you do here.
Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Do they all have to be on? No, never mind. Huh. Okay. I thought I had a guess, but now I don't.
I just don't think you can have a guess right now. It's gonna take a bit before you can have a guess.
All right. Weight loss bet, Dave. What are you imagining?
Weight loss bets. I think here's what I would like. I would like a 2-step weight loss bet. One, you want to do a 90 or 100-day weight loss bet. That's fine with me. But then I'd also like to do 6-month, because what's going to happen is I'm going to do this weight loss bet and then I'm just going to go back into it. I need something to get me to January.
So you're saying October gets here and you're going back to Dairy Queen. So you'd want to get to January.
It's certainly a possibility. So that's what I am. I just want to make sure that does not happen. I've got a big landmark birthday coming up. I don't want to date myself, but the big 4-0 is coming up in January. I will officially be out of my 30s into the next stage.
So you're trying to come into your 40s in dad and peak dad shape.
Well, not peak dad shape, but I want my year 40 to be people just like, wow, kitchen looks amazing for a guy in his 40s. Like that's the goal. And so that's kind of where I think a 6-month is. And so I think we could either do 2 options. One would be, because I don't want to lose muscle. I want to continue building muscle. That's what people know me for. Pete, you're on the clock right now.
Thank you.
6th round pick. But I want to do maybe like a check-in, like a percentage of the money or whatever we decide after the 100 days, and then the bigger part be after 6 months. and I'm also open to just a flat rate or percentage of
what do you mean
best
a
ball
flat
winnings.
rate?
You know, if we choose
Sure.
like a couple hundred.
Yeah,
or
definitely
best
not doing a percentage of best ball winnings. That does not get me closer to Corain.
It might just, Davis, think about if I won the 2 million and you had like 10% of that.
None of us want to go through that thought exercise of you.
Trust me, I really don't.
Just think about it. Like, you could be cheering for me on week 17, knowing that it could mean 6 digits for you.
That doesn't. I honestly would pay 6 digits to not have you win Best Ball Mania 4.
Can we talk about last week, the week that I had on Twitter.com? It was amazing. 2 viral tweets.
You got one tweet with 100 likes and it changed his life.
Thanks to Davis Maddock. I did the first thread about wanting to help guys like Davis that had never been to a Best Ball Finals championship. People ate it up with a spoon.
Which is not true, which is a lie. So you started
Davis,
out with a lie.
You never even responded. Were you just
David,
just so sick of it?
I'm not going to give you the attention that you're seeking, bud. It's like the first lesson you learn about children is when they're doing attention-seeking behavior, you can't give it to them.
I will say it's pretty hilarious. So 2 things happened after Kitchen had his thread glow up. One, he got canceled in the mentions for one. Someone said he was being very insensitive. And on top of it, Twitter literally went to shit right after Kitchen did his threads.
People started getting rate limited.
Yeah.
That was the unfortunate part for sure. Is that
Twitter went to shit or that you got canceled? Which of the two?
No, I didn't get canceled. Someone thought I did a tweet of Michael Myers as
not the tight end.
Exactly. The like hyper active kid who couldn't have chocolate with Nicole Kidman as an SNL skit, and someone said I was making fun of someone with disabilities. He in the SNL skit, he did not have a disability, and even after I responded to him, he still didn't understand it. Like I would never make fun of someone with a disability. So, sometimes you have to fight back against cancel culture, and that's what I hopefully did. But the other tweet was more of a classic. Devin, do you have this pulled up?
Blig Molo says Cam Akers is this year's Josh Jacobs. I can see it, honestly.
No, that's definitely not going to happen. But it's like a similar. It's like a similar vein.
You sound so certain, Davis, that it's not going to happen, but it could happen.
No, that could not happen. Cam Akers is not good enough in the offense, isn't? Dave, my goal is just to hold on this program.
Hold on. You said that it could never happen. I even gave you an out. What did you tweet last week, Davis?
Something about Cam Akers being Josh Jacobs for impressions, and it works. I got like 250,000 impressions.
Well, and I got a ton of impressions too from you saying that it would never happen, and then posting literally a couple weeks later, this year's Josh Jacobs. So I just want to thank you, Davis, for helping just propel the week that I had on Twitter last week. Pete, what are your thoughts?
It is. Like Kitchen, you are starting to do. I mean, you don't strike me as someone who puts a lot of work into this show, but if you get a W online, you will get some post-production materials to sprinkle in here. You also, what was it? A couple weeks ago, you grabbed a screen grab of me and Corain on Ship Chasing out here doing social media work for us for no payment.
Yeah.
David's most recent tweet is a fucking Tim Ferriss retweet, dude. This is.
Do you know? I'm just glad you know who Tim Ferriss is.
Well, he was just on Huberman like 2 weeks ago.
That's the only reason Davis knows who he is, because he was on Huberman.
Well, I downloaded it. I haven't listened to it yet.
He helped propel Huberman. I mean, he was one of the guys that got like Huberman is in Tim Ferriss's tree, basically.
I actually listened to a Tim Ferriss podcast yesterday. Driving back, he had that magician dude on. It was actually a really good episode. Anyways,
Love Tim Ferriss.
All right,
4-hour
I'll take a
work
running
week.
back.
Dave, I'm not doing the 6-month bet with you, so you can do the 100-day bet or you cannot.
Why won't you do the 6-month bet?
I don't want to.
So what is your purpose then in the 100-day bet?
To do like a hard reset because my exercise regimen is so dialed in and I just need to get the diet dialed in. And that is the purpose of it.
So 100 days.
You have 100 days starting tomorrow. You're in or you're out.
And you're proposing what as far as winnings?
We can do $500.
That's a lot of best ball championship entries.
We can be negotiable on the stakes. I don't really know who to take here.
Wow.
Let me know if you need a lifeline, Davis. I will happily provide one.
So let's see. I'm looking at Davis's. I want to see if I can start to get close to guessing Davis's. He does
mine. If you had the hinging part of information, you could guess mine very easily right now.
Was it just to onslaught a team and have the quarterback, running back, and multiple pass catchers min 5?
No, it was not.
All right, because you do have Burrow, Mixon, Chase, and Boyd. I'm trying to see any other patterns I see here.
Dave, can I give a hint? Are we giving hints?
You can give a hint. I don't care.
So the other players I've drafted correlate to the mission, correlate to the Bengals in a way that helps me fulfill the mission.
Interesting. Now I'm wondering if Kitchen just used my mission and like lazily just gave it to David.
David's mission actually, David's mission relates to his brand.
Yes. 100%.
All right, Dave, you have Anthony Richardson and Geno Smith. You have a double stack with Metcalf and Lockett. Peter hates that Anthony Richardson pick. You just grouped yourself out of a good team, buddy. You've got Eckler and Etienne.
Wait, why do you think I hate the Anthony Richardson pick?
Because you only want one way to win. You're just trying to bink once, right?
No, that's if I spend an early round quarterback. I'm normally getting an early. If I don't, I would be taking 2 stacked up with my early pass catchers.
Okay. So you've got Richardson,
which is what I've done, Pete. If you
that. That's why this is your avenue, your arena, and we're just
I heard you were starting a weekly winners Medium blog.
I just tweet threads. Tweet threads are expensive these days for people that don't have the blue check. So I want to maximize their own value.
I have not seen rate limited yet once.
Oh, I haven't either. But I also was blessed with a check. So.
Well, you weren't. Elon took all of them away. We had to pay for them.
Well, potato. Oh, F me.
All right, what does he do here? Juju.
Oh, gosh.
Jamal Williams.
F me. I just was not paying attention.
Hang on.
Still got it.
Oh, okay. Barely. I
still got it.
I had to confirm. I thought you slipped up there.
I know. Oh, thank you for. You guys know if you star a guy, it will automatically put him in the queue. So if you auto draft, it will just draft that guy.
Dave, is yours something about having to ping pong positionally?
No, there's no ping pong positions, but that would be good. Yeah, I don't even know. Let's see
what you're doing.
No, I do know what I'm doing.
I will say this for
I will say you gave me. This is the first time I've had to do this specific draft strategy within the weekly winners circle. I will say that.
What I would say about the prompt I gave Kitchen is that there's legitimately a lot of options, but in a way where I think there's almost too many options.
Yes.
But there's still landmines. Like you still can fuck it up easily. So it broke your brain when I gave it to you. It's simple. It's elegant. It's the perfect challenge. Brought to you by Peter Overzet. That's not it.
And that's not it, but
saying, yeah.
But it is kind of on the right path. All right. No one's gonna get Davis. If someone get Davis's on this stream, I will give them a Swolecast shirt if they get Davis's challenge on this stream.
I need to go look at this again.
No one's getting it.
Let me ask you, Davis.
Sure.
All right. I finally found a format where I can take Dalton Kincaid.
Can you? Is he takeable in this format?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
The whole thought with Dalton Kincaid is like 90% of the time he's like a bad pick at ADP, but could he?
But you just don't know.
But the whole thought is you just don't know. Like
you
are creating narratives for every individual scenario, and you really just don't know.
Let me say something smarter than just the phrase "just don't know." Even though if you distill it down, it could just be you just don't know.
Dave, no. I don't even have a guess for yours, bud.
Okay, I mean someone will by the end of it.
You can't take any Central Division players.
No. That's not it. Sorry, bud.
Who did you just take, Kitchen? Chig?
Chig. It might be a top 5 tight end.
He might be. We just don't know.
You really like the?
I mean, Adam Troutman. Adam Troutman, if you think about it, could be a top 5 tight end. We just don't know.
Are you in on Kyle Phillips this year, Kitchen?
You know what? He has been a late week 18 or 18th round, 19th round, 20th round pick, especially on DK. I haven't drafted him at all on Underdog in the 18th, but I have drafted him on a few different teams. You know, he just got married last weekend. I don't know if you can tie any sort of narrative to that, but he just got married, and I think Traylon's getting married this year as well.
Well, Traylon can finally breathe, so that seems like a plus.
Let's the chat is so confused on who's on our team because Dave refuses to service the audio listener or even the live chat.
I just need to these challenges are rough. And I have to have like maximum.
Dave can't focus on hosting the show and showing the draft board and doing his mission.
It is really tough. It is like extremely tough.
The best thing about this mission is Dave is successfully completing it, but I know he's just like not thinking about structure or anything because he's just trying to complete this mission.
100%. I'm just trying to complete the mission. That's it. All right. Let me show the board. I'm also towards the end, with the 9th pick. So like when I'm towards the end of the draft and it's 2 coming up, then I like to show my screen. All right. So Pete, you're coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't draft a running back till the 8th round. Is yours 0 RB?
Nope.
Prompt?
Kitchen, no, Davis gave me mine. It is not 0 RB. I will say right now, well, I don't want to say, I guess there could be some structural overlap to my prompt, but no, nothing with 0 RB.
Pete's should be evident by now.
Did he draft? Is it a 1 quarterback, 1 tight end build? Is that it?
No.
Davis wouldn't give me that. That would be too. That's what I want to do in draft.
Yeah,
Davis
I almost gave Davis that, and I'm like, I don't want him to win this thing. Like I want to let him, sweat a little bit.
I sort of prefer like in my head, like the Mitch Trubisky wins the Millionaire Maker thing. Like that's sort of like my thought for this is that having like
you just never know.
No, having like multiple stacks with elite skill level players feels like a worthwhile strategy.
So since I let's see right here. Someone just got it. But since I started, what I will
Someone
say
just got yours?
is one of them is that there are a lot of quarterbacks left towards the end.
Some of them don't even get drafted. Yeah. Like guys who
Right.
go every time in BBM.
And so because of the whole one quarterback thing, a lot of people, the one quarterback, they're not drafting quarterbacks later. And so you have like quarterbacks are falling late. So it's almost like another theory.
Why would they let Bryce Young and CJ Stroud go so late when we just don't know?
Let's each recap. The chat still doesn't know who's on our team. Here's my team right now through 13 rounds. Josh Allen at quarterback. Running backs, James Cook, Javonte Williams, Elijah Mitchell, Kendre Miller. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, Terry McLaurin, Drake London, Marquise Brown, Mike Evans, Van Jefferson. Tight end, Dalton Kincaid.
All right. Dave, do you want to go or do you want me to go? It's probably too hard for you to
I'm
go.
about
I'll
to
go.
draft. So
okay.
I'm
Yeah, sure. We can't, I don't want to get you out of your zone. I have
Right.
2 quarterbacks, Joe Burrow
you.
and Jared Goff. I have 4 running backs, Joe Mixon, Cam Akers, Khalil Herbert, and Tyler Algier. I have 5 wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Christian Kirk, Jordan Addison, and Tyler Boyd. I have 2 tight ends, Evan Ingram and Irv Smith Jr.
Okay. And I just picked Pierce. So I've got, Richardson stacked with Pittman and Pierce. I've got Smith stacked with Lockett and Metcalf. And then I have Traylon to finish out the wide receivers. I've got Andrews and Chig. And then running backs are Eckler, Etienne, Jamal Williams, and Jalen Warren. That's who I have right now. And you're right. This is totally different than any sort of draft I would ever do. And it's a little different because generally especially the weekly winners, if you're drafting in the first 3 or 4 versus the late round, you can kind of understand like, all right, this is going to be what I do. But Pete, your strategy for me, it's really tough, especially with the parameters given. And we can explain that later.
I'm now moving on to trying to figure out Davis's, and I am struggling.
You
right.
You literally will not. Yeah. You need to pull up the NFL schedule to be able to figure mine out.
Okay.
Yes.
The consigliere, that was just it was a happy overlap. It was I'll be happy to have these players pushed on by the Kansas City Chiefs without any of the Chiefs. Although I David, when I looked at the schedule, I was surprised that the Chiefs did not figure more prominently in my strategy.
You're giving it away now. If Pete doesn't get it now after all these tips,
I'm not giving it away. I'm not giving it away.
You just did. You just did. Let's see here. Boy.
Let's see. I was going to say, is it like something where you're taking only players that the Chiefs play in the fantasy playoffs, but there's no way?
It is. I mean, it's kind of it just worked out that it's okay. Not adjacent to that. It just worked out that way.
Kitchen takes Jerome Ford. Let me go check your work.
I don't have a single clue. I got nothing on Dave.
Someone has guessed it though.
All Titans opponents?
Pete?
Yeah, we'll give it to the chat on that one. It was draft. You could exclusively draft Titans or players on teams who played the Titans in the regular season.
Yeah.
Again.
So I think I'm going to make a ruling here. If we do weekly winners again, nothing that pertains to the schedule. That's part of it. Niche.
Literally the chat got it. So Davis, it's not too hard. Yours is pretty tough. But again, it lends itself to the challenge format. It's not just about guessability. It's really just about completing the challenge and trying to within the parameters given. But what I was saying to Pete is that the Titans, if you want to stack Titans or Titans opponents, it's a lot of like late round stuff. You think of like the AFC South, with the exception of a few Jacksonville players, it's all late round guys. With Houston, some of the Indy guys, the Titans, there's just not a lot of options there. So then I'm having to like print out a freaking schedule for the Titans. And figure out
how did this man not break the rules and draft and host and skirt a weight loss bet? I mean, unbelievable. The chat wants to see my team on the board, Dave. I think that will help them get where they need to go.
Okay, so you got Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra. You stack Chase with Burrow. You got Mixon. You got Cam Akers, aka this year's Josh Jacobs, Jordan Madison, Evan Ingram, Boyd, Khalil Herbert. Yeah, I mean there are some takeaways here, but I mean people in the chat can say like what are some of the brands that I have that might help Pete? Like what are some of the things that I'm known for? This
brand thing of yours, Dave. This was kind of before Pete's time. This was back when sort of back when days. It was back when you used to play DFS more seriously.
Yeah, I still play
this reference is from when the Monday night game was still involved in daily fantasy football for the Millionaire Maker.
Davis just gave it away. I mean, I guess that will.
So it's all players who play on Sunday Night Football this year or Monday night?
No. It's Dave, do you want me to say or do you want me to have
Yeah, no, you already gave it away, so yeah, just say
so it. I had to game stack at least one Monday Night Football game with two mini stacks of the others. So I have Cincinnati and Jacksonville. I have I'm even forgetting. The Rams are involved in the Rams play the Bengals too on Monday Night Football. And the Vikings play. I'm forgetting it while I'm doing this. Oh, I didn't even get the 49er that I wanted, so the Vikings one doesn't count.
Wow. I would never draft this team.
Oh, the Bears play the Vikings. I have Khalil Herbert and Jordan Addison.
So my challenge is the last one to be, I did just select Dawson Knox. I will say this, I have not yet successfully completed my challenge.
But I'm on my way. How can we even guess it?
Well, he's directionally accurate, which is the best.
All right, so you drafted Kincaid and Knox.
I did.
With Josh Allen. James Cook. So have you drafted a Bills receiver yet?
I have not. I have Kupp, Olave, McLaurin, London, Marquise Brown, Mike Evans, and Van Jefferson.
Does it have to do anything with the Bills?
It does.
Or AFC East?
It does now have something to do with the Bills. I'll say that.
Okay. Was it just an onslaught team? Onslaught, like a top 3 offensive team?
My DM said, mega stack one team, min 5 players. I did leave myself some outs because I do have 2 New Orleans right now. I have 2 Rams, but I was trying to get there with my Buffalo guys.
It's a team that's just begging for some Deontay Hardy.
Let's just relax.
Don't give the room any ideas.
The funny thing is like I've been thinking through weekly winner stuff specifically at this portion of the draft, and I do think because you're going to have so many dupes on these guys, like this is really the format where it's like if you get sniped on Hardy and you have to plug your nose and take Trent Sherfield, this is the format where you
Sherfield might be that guy though.
Right, but I'm trying to apply game theory of why that's okay, and you're just saying, "What if he's that guy?"
I like the it's unbelievable. Like, Dave, do you live your real life that way? Like,
no. What I lived is what I enjoy doing is taking the team previews from people that we know, like the underdog stuff on the underdog blog, and then just seeing like where the projected starters are and who their backups are in that position. And someone like Sherfield, if something happens to Gabe Davis, Sherfield could fill in for him. If something happens to Diggs, Sherfield could fill in for him.
That sounds dangerous. That sounds dangerously close to knowing what might happen. You're projecting a knowledge of future events.
That's the whole thing, Davis, is you're creating a story for your lineup. The same thing, trying to figure out some of these backup running backs. Are you taking Latavius Murray any of these days, or are you still sticking with Damian Harris, Peter?
I have not taken any Latavius. That seems like a bad click right now, just because I get that there was that report out there, but the whole point of avoiding those spots right now is if you get a guy who's the third back on the roster and you're just taking a zero right now. If we continue to get that, dare I say, steady drumbeat heading into preseason, and he's running with the twos, and Damian Harris is some malcontent who's been, resigned to the bench, then sure, I'll start taking some Latavius.
Well, I respect myself too much to take Latavius Murray in 2023.
The theory with Damian Harris or Latavius Murray is that basically they don't want to run like QB sneaks or a lot of quarterback runs, bootlegs, that sort of thing this year. They want to protect Josh Allen, and so you need like a touchdown guy. And that's not going to be Cook. And so, like, who do you attribute those touchdowns to?
It's definitely Harris. No, you're right. And it's definitely Harris.
I will update, just for the chat, since you guys guessed it. I did successfully complete my mission. 5 Bills, Josh Allen, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. And I went ahead and galaxy brained Trent Sherfield over Hardy for some uniqueness benefits.
I think that's just going to be the guy.
We both got to the same place, just taking a different path to get there, Kitchen.
That's right. And that's part of the beauty of this. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to go with
you got
Robert.
Down that path gently, having your hand in the dirt, just kind of scraping.
But let's look at some of the quarterback. I guess this draft is not as much as in the past, but no, it is. I didn't scroll up. Hal, Ritter, Lance, Mac Jones, Jimmy G, Tannehill, Baker. Those are all guys left going into the 18th round. It never happens in the best ball finals.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost Davis. I think he had to.
We've lost the thread.
Yeah. But yeah, this is part of the reason why I enjoy this. And a lot of times, what I'll do is, you can click some of these stuff as far as like if you got guys in the same division, mm-hmm. and you'll see like number of game stacks week 4. Well, then you can go in playoff view and select week 1. That's when you have 4 matchups and you can see these guys and then try to fit in with the
game.
You
guys even realize that you can get Mac Jones at like 4% owned in this contest, bro?
We just talked about that.
I know. But you didn't discuss the ownership angle.
I'm going Tanny because Tanny's going to give me more of a chance than any of these dusty guys. Oh, mission complete.
You just don't know.
I successfully completed this mission.
Congratulations, Dave.
You just don't know, Dave.
All right. And what's your Monday night stacks, Davis?
Cincinnati and Jacksonville, Chicago and Chicago and the Vikings, Detroit and my last pick just went. So it was going to be Detroit and someone. Uh-oh. And Philadelphia and Kansas City.
Wait, who is going to be your last pick?
Jake Ferguson.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kiki Ngannou. I was like, wow.
Kine. Right, can we talk about some of these late round running backs real quick? Because I have been packing my bags with a guy who last year people loved. Year before that, people loved. He's in a high octane offense. He's available in the 17th or 18th round almost every time.
Are you going to say Clyde?
Yes.
Oh God.
Why are people not drafting more Clyde Edwards-Helaire? If they're in past years, if
He
there's
might
been
not
a
even
running,
he might not even make the team.
that's
bud.
okay. People in the past have drafted like running back 4, running back 5 off the Chiefs, just on perhaps they might gain.
Yeah, but Crane
spot.
used practice squad Ronald Jones to win $2 million, so we can't criticize him too much.
It's what, but this is also what I'm saying. Like it seems like the
No,
upside for Clyde.
He's a good click. He's a good click.
Like I'd rather take him over some of these running backs that we just. I mean, it is ugly.
Is it just because you know his name and you don't know a lot of these other guys' names?
No, it's like it's the offense that he's in is really what it's about. Like getting and that's why also, thinking of these offenses and trying to figure out who the running back could be for guys that could just get easy touchdowns. That's what I'm looking at, and he seems like the guy that's just sticking out. Like I don't want any part of like Eric Gray, right? And he might
Took a lot of courage to say that on this stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Not enough Eric Gray FUD out there. I mean, this guy is fucking runaway hype train. Thanks for cooling
like
it off.
enough of the Eric Gray steam, fellas. Like I get it, Jordan Renan of the New York Post. Like enough.
But like Joshua Kelly, like not a sexy pick.
Joshua Kelly is just Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like they're the same.
I was gonna say Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not a sexy pick, Dave.
Yeah,
he could be. You just don't know. If something happened to Pacheco, what would happen to the running back room there in Kansas City?
They would start using Leonard Fournette, who they're going to sign as a free agent.
Yeah, they're going to sign Zeke.
Jarrett
They're going to
McKinnon.
sign Kareem Hunt. They're going to sign Leonard Fournette. They're going to sign. I mean, the Chiefs have done this every year for the last 4 years since they cut Kareem Hunt. They have brought in Carlos Hyde, Le'Veon Bell, LaShawn McCoy. It was Melvin Gordon last year. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is as dusty as those guys. He's still in his like year 5 season.
You just don't know.
Yeah. And I did use Joshua Kelly, and I realized with that Chargers offense, probably not a good comparison there. I should have used like the running back 3 for the Jags, so I don't even know who it is.
Dearness Johnson.
Pete, were you Googling?
I was Googling, but something unrelated to this show.
Thank you. In the past 2 weeks, have you guys come around on anything other than Cam Akers being this year's Josh Jacobs?
What come around on what context?
Like guys that like, you listen to stuff, people make a good point. And you're like, I'm going to probably start drafting more of this offense.
I do just want to point out it is poetic that Davis took Cam Akers in this draft. We did kind of gloss over that. Yeah.
I did say he drafted this year's Josh Jacobs.
The Chargers. I've been wanting to draft more of the Chargers because Kellen Moore is going to have them not building that entire ship out of 3-yard checkdowns to Austin Eckler.
Did you listen to the Pat Thorman pod?
No.
Because Pat was on with the ETR guys. It was talking about pace and specifically talking about like Kellen Moore and what that does to this offense.
I love that Kitchen is just getting. I love that Kitchen's getting in the weeds. Like I love that Kitchen is.
I told you this would happen. You guys, late May, you're like, oh, I can't believe you don't know who the correlation is for the Detroit Lions. Now ask me anything.
Yeah, we're very happy to hear it. I can't wait. I think the worst guy just Oh wow. We're gonna need to get a graphic made of that for this program. No, I'm Dave. I'm excited to see you in the streets. Are you starting a weight loss bet with me tomorrow? Yes or no?
Sure, but I'm not going to do 500 if you want to do the 6 months thing.
We can do. We'll call it an even 200.
Okay.
That's eight BBM entries.
And what are the parameters of this bet?
Same as we did last time. Greatest percentage of body weight lost in 100 days.
Where are you guys at relative to where you were the first time you did this bet?
I
About
literally,
the same
Peter,
spot.
I'm literally the same goddamn weight from when I did it the last time. Like
But
I lost 20.
You made a ton of progress during that bet, right?
Yeah.
I lost 20. I lost 26 pounds in 4 months, and then it put it all back on in like a year.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
I'll just say this. I'm in the, I'm more active than I was back then. I just need some more structure. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recruiting people to be in a, let's call it the, Swole 60 or whatever the is going to be. But it's going to be just a group where we can just hold each other accountable. Just guys holding each other accountable. Hey, let's not eat after 10 p.m. Let's take all this stuff. Let's take, let's take some creatine and let's take these like guidelines.
Oh yeah, Dave, you're like 3 weeks into your creatine experience.
Yeah,
What do you have to reveal to us,
bro? Can you not tell this? So yeah, like we're going strong, and I just need some guys that want to get better. Maybe they're maybe they used to be elite athletes. They're heading into their 40s and they too want to make some progress. So you just don't know. Hey, on that kind of similar train of thought, the ESPN stuff last week.
I mean, this is just it's down chain from Disney, which is doing layoffs across the board.
Who would be the you would hate to see let go from ESPN?
Well, Susie Colbert, I thought it was insane that she got fired.
Gosh.
She's going to get a job. She's going to get a job immediately. How could Susie Colbert be fired?
How about Jeff Van Gundy too? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
apparently this goes into right-wing sports Twitter, but Ethan Sherwood-Strauss just did a big blog post about did woke politics get Jeff Van Gundy fired?
Uh-oh.
I feel like ESPN has already been through kind of that woke wrestling reckoning period of time there.
Who are your favorite ESPN people right now? Barnwell?
Love Barnwell. Love Mina Kimes.
I wish Barnwell didn't have me blocked. Okay. I'd love to read his stuff.
Let me tell you about
How did you get blocked by Barnwell? What did you do? I didn't know this.
He said Odell should win Rookie of the Year, and I was like, Odell sucks, and he blocked. That during the
this
whole
was
Odell.
in 2014.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me tell you about. I played pickleball last weekend, and part of the pickleball thing.
You took a leisurely walk.
No, it's tough. So I took. Basically, it's open play, and part of the pickleball. But part of the appeal to me is the social element to it, right? Like you get to know people. And so this guy's like, hey, what do you do? And after trying to explain to him 10 minutes, what I actually do, he goes, oh, you probably know my sister then. And I said, I just was talking about sport. Who's your sister? And he goes,
Liz Loza?
Mina Kimes.
Mina Kimes. Okay.
So now I basically, this is just pickleball, just opening up a brand new world to me. The pickleball cabal is opening up a brand new world.
Well, so Kitchen, do you, because I might need to call in a favor from the trunk of my tree here, because last year I shot my shot on Twitter. The only time I've gone public trying to get a guest for the randomizer. And
so her brother texted me. We're supposed to be playing tomorrow, but he's got my number and he's texted me, and then it's just he's like, do you have kids? I'm like, yeah. He's like, me too. So I'm just telling you that pickleball is a social thing, and it's going to open up so many opportunities for my brand and possibly even this show. But why should I? But if I have access to Mina Kimes, I feel like I should get her on the Swolecast instead of the randomizer draft.
Let's just be honest and think what Mina Kimes would enjoy doing more. Kitchen.
I gotta be honest, Dave. I don't think hosting a show with Mina Kimes is in your repertoire of like abilities.
I just drafted a Seahawks stack, so
That's your resume item for hosting Mina Kimes. Be like, I took DK Metcalf ahead of ADP.
yeah,
Do you like me, Mina?
I like to her the Seahawks are like for me and the Titans. That's like, and then you just get in the weeds from there.
What would you, Kitchen? Okay, let's say this happens. Let's say you book
Yeah.
Mina Kimes for the Swolecast. It's us three and Mina. What does the show sheet look like for that show?
Yeah, just a lot of pickleball talk. We talk Seahawks and
Are we
Titans.
hopping in a weekly winners draft? We give Mina a challenge.
I don't know, but I will say, like, I want to take it slow. I'm not, I want the, the foundation of our relationship as far as me and her brother to be pickleball and not like just using him for his sister.
Yeah, no, you definitely got to play the long game here.
Yeah. But I'm going to be playing with Eric Decker soon. So we're just going to go from there. Pete, what if I said you come down to Nashville with me when Mina's down here? We play a foursome.
I would
have to play pickleball. Would you play pickleball to get Mina on the show?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
We found the line.
We found the line.
Yes. We found the line. I love it. Okay.
It's a good
All
line.
right.
It's a good line.
Well, last year I had the line, and it was I just needed Jamar Chase to come back from injury ahead of the timeline, and I was going to have to play, and he couldn't even do that.
It's true. I got a hard out at 1:30, Dave.
Okay, so final thoughts, Davis.
I have a soft out that I wish was a hard out at 1:30.
Hard out thoughts are I just the idea of Dave listening to Pat Thorman Pace Establish the Run podcast just brings warmth to my heart, and I can't even if that's how far advanced you've gotten in the 2 weeks since I've
this is
seen
literally
you.
the 8th weekly winners draft. I told you this would happen next week at Scott Fishbowl. I'm ready.
He's ready. All right, I'm very excited for it.
Whiteboard session. A couple weeks, I'm gonna have my own whiteboard session on this show. I'm just gonna show you guys.
What does that mean? Like literally, you're gonna have a whiteboard?
Sure. I do not know.
Kitchen strikes me as someone who likes the figurative idea of a whiteboard only if he could literally use a whiteboard.
Of course. I had to figure out how to do it. Okay. Let's see. Peter, final thoughts.
Kitchen, I was impressed with your ability to complete your mission today. I did have the Titans schedule pulled up for the entire draft as I was fact checking your picks. Good job. And I'm excited to sweat your guys' weight loss bet.
Yeah. I mean, this is small potatoes of the bigger meal of me in my 40s, just being sexy AF. I want to weigh 225 and be able to bench 225 10 times. I'm said on the show, so it's out there now. It's out there.
How many times can you bench 185 right now?
I don't even know because my Planet Fitness does not have a actual bench press.
We got to get you to Real Gym, bud.
It's got the assisted bench press.
Yeah, totally.
All right, that'll do it for the show. Special thanks everyone that that watches along with us, that tries to guess the Monday Night Football stack that Davis has. A special thanks to producer Devin for having to fill in for Sosa. He did a good job. And leave a comment because you guys in the comments have just been on fire. People love the show, and it's clear by the comments that they leave on the show. So leave us some comments after this is over, and we'll see you next week. Scott Fishbowl season's coming next week, so it should be fun. We'll talk to you then. It's a Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com. Peace.